focusing on Chicano gangs, I want to make it clear that Chicano gangs are one thing. They're not Latino gangs. They're not Puerto Rican gangs. They're purely Chicano. And what that equates to is mostly California gang activity in the barrios. The styles that have evolved from the California gangs as far as language, dress, customizing cars, the love of certain types of music, whether it's American music, like oldies is what we refer to, or Chicano music. All these different things go back to culture. And as different identifiers of Chicano gangs were created or evolved, they took on a negative connotation because Chicano gangs are seen as negative. But there's really a lot of pride. There has been emphasis on the religion aspects of the culture. There's a pride in the language and knowing the language, but at the same time becoming Americanized. But because of this relationship that Chicanos have with the United States, we're not accepted in Mexico as Mexicans. We're not accepted in America as Americans. So a lot of this anger that results from it has turned inward over the years, and Chicano gang rivalries existed where there was no problem with blacks or whites except for the usual racially based issues that would arise based on the situation. When there was rivalry over territory among Chicano gangs, just seeing a rival in your area or anywhere on the streets meant that if you were part of that barrio, you had to go stand up for your barrio. You had to fight for your barrio, and every chance you got, you claimed where you were from, which barrio you were from. Hence the graffiti all over the walls in the barrios. Now it's called tagging. We used to call it placas, which is like a plaque. You'd throw your placazo on a wall, and you'd put your barrio. You'd put your names, your barrio, a subset if there was one, like usually based on age, like the peewees were the younger guys. Charros, which means almost like essentially cowboys, would be the older guys. Locos would be the older or middle-aged guys, and veteranos were the oldest guys, like a veteran. And along with all of it, one would see the hardcore gang members with tattoos proclaiming their barrio, maybe the name of their girlfriend, their wife, their kids, references to having been in the joint, which is prison. Chicanos also called it La Pinta, and teardrops for years served, cobwebs for years served, masks of happy faces and sad faces for the good times and the bad times, but always a reference back to your barrio. And among the Chicano gangs, barrio is spelled with a V in most cases, whereas the word itself is grammatically correct in Spanish with a B, as in boy. And V, as in victory, is what most of the barrios use in their spelling.